Hey, coming at you live from my home studio. Beautiful, all the places. That's a Dodgers show. You know that, man. Oh, that's the wrong button. That was a gunshot. But anyways, you get the point. Hey, let's just shut up. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Clint. That's Kevin. The Dodgers have signed Blake Snell. Isn't that cool? According to
Yeah.
reports, the Dodgers and Blake Snell. Blake Snell, the first to announce it, man. Feeling like
Love
Shohei.
that.
Go.
Like,
Say reactions.
no, it's awesome. This was somebody that we were really high on in terms of stuff, in terms of contract length. We can get into the contract in a little bit here in a second, but this is exciting. I just tweeted it out. But Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that plays. That's the front three. Like that plays. That's so excited.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot.
with the mustard. Agreed.
Hey, yeah, guys, sound off in the comments below, of course, or the side, wherever the hell they're at. Hey, this is a good day to be a Dodgers fan. We got this. This was the move. This was the move I've been clamoring for. The Dodgers needed grown-ups. They needed another adult. If there was going to be an offseason where Blake Snell was going to sign with the Dodgers, it was going to be this one. You love how fast Blake Snell wanted to work. He made it very much known that he was not going to do anything close to what he did last year. The Dodgers and Blake Snell, of course, already spoke very late in spring training. I'm sure they had some of these terms kind of figured out. A year ago, less than a year ago, really. But yeah, this is an absolute game changer for the Dodgers because you have, like you said, the top four really can be insane for this team. But you're talking about Shohei Ohtani, you're talking about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you're talking about Tyler Glasnow, and now Blake Snell. You're getting a lefty. You're getting a guy like you said in the last stream we did on Friday. Last stream we did together. This is a guy who is the all-time K per 9 leader. He's got gold on that ledger on his Bleacher Report on his Baseball Reference. But yeah, getting into the numbers, getting into the figures. What is it? 5 years, and Passan's out there. That's an important thing. We got super chats. We're going to get in there. We're going to be hanging out with people for a little bit. But 5 years, $182 million. I'm bad at math. What is that? And there's deferrals. All of the pieces of a good Dodger contract are in there. But
Yep.
what is that? Roach is in the chat. I'm sorry. What? That's right. Blake Snell. He announced it on his Instagram. That's crazy. But how much is that? What's the AAV? What figures are we looking right now?
36 without counting the deferrals. So that would make him the highest paid pitcher ever on an annual basis. Depending on what the deferrals look like, that could bring it down to something closer to Yamamoto. But as of right now, it is higher than what the Dodgers gave Yamamoto on a year basis. Already got a couple of super chats to get through these.
Yeah.
Small Sash is 199. Wow, Dodgers coming out on fire. Soto next. Maybe Richie Flores 199. I'm so happy he's ignoring my kitchen. That's when you know it's a good day to be a Dodgers fan, when Richard Flores can ignore my kitchen.
Scotty XX says Snellzilla, and again, we're gonna talk probably about the same thing over and over. We have no script. We have nothing planned to talk about here because, I was literally in bed. I was not expecting a Blake Snell signing to drop before Thanksgiving. But again, Blake Snell, let's talk about where he was a year ago, playing the market for the first time as a free agent, maybe overplayed his hand a little bit. Gus L saying 5 years. I thought it was going to be fewer years. I wouldn't be surprised to see if there's any opt-outs in there, but now
we don't have all the contract details. We just have the total years and the total money.
Yeah, and there's he signed, was it March 15th? He had himself a terrible start to the season. He didn't want to do that again. He made it known. We heard this from all of the pundits, all of the national people pointing out that, he was not happy with how his offseason turned out, and his goal was to sign quick, was to sign early. And again, we get this before Thanksgiving. Very shocking. 5-year, $182 million deal confirmed by everybody, all the people you need to be confirming. And I would like to confirm that our friend IB Strokin has gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Appreciate IB Strokin as always. The initials IBS. That's the only time they make me happy. My friend Angel picked up one of the those things, the channel members.
Good. Very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of don't know where you go from here. Los, great question. Does it mean this team is out on other big free agents, big names, Roki, Fried, Walker Bueller? I would say they're out on Max Fried. And the rumors have been linking him more to Boston. He feels like more of a Boston player. Max Fried probably going to get a little bit less than this, or maybe something comparable in terms of money, and 1 or 2 more years. He is a younger boy, but again, Blake Snell, you're adding this dude to the top of a rotation that very quickly, once again, is got to be a favorite to run it back, to go and win themselves another World Series championship in 2025. Now you just need some bats. Like I'm okay. I would love to see Walker Buehler return. If we're already being extra greedy, we know Clayton Kershaw's coming back at some point in time. We talked last night on the channel, myself and Tim Rogers, about some of the pieces they do have laying around. Like they needed this one guy to be that top of the rotation, that ace, 1, 2, or 3, where if you do lose a Glasnow again in the postseason, or a Yamamoto falls apart, or a Shohei Ohtani, whatever it is, more of that depth, more of that top of the rotation depth, to where, let's be fair, the Dodgers got by on some sort of miracle. They were able to win the World Series this year with only 3 starting pitchers and part of a bullpen that was slowly falling apart. So to get this guy who fits in as a Dodger well, because they don't need guys. They don't necessarily plan on having guys going 6, 7, 8 innings every start. And now, knowing there's going to be a 6-man rotation to plug him in there, again, there's not a thing to hate about this move. This was the man I wanted most, and now you go out and get Teo, you get Walker Buehler. Again, great day. A lot of people in the chat. I should say right now, before I forget, because I would be dumb to not say it, guys. Bet Online. I got to talk Bet Online this Thanksgiving holiday. Why not head to the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting? That is Bet Online. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with the constant real-time odds and action, and the ability to watch games as they happen, with the largest selection of odds from everything football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, and boxing. It's all there. Head to the website today and see why BetOnline is America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Kev, let's fire off some comments.
Really quick,
and more thoughts from you.
John Morosi just saying Blake Snell's deal with the Dodgers has no opt-outs, so he's a Dodger for 5 years. So that's surprising to me. I figured they would. So, and then Heyman was saying the Red Sox were in on him. I wonder if the Red Sox wouldn't go past 4, and maybe that 5th year was what really tipped the scales a little bit, because all signs are pointing to the Red Sox really trying to spend a lot of money, be a top spender once again. 1,200 people in here, by the way, across YouTube and I think Twitter. So thanks to everybody. Make sure you hit that like button. Some of the comments, I mean, everybody's just really excited. Mayday Mama wants Tommy and Teo Dodgers life contracts. So back to your question, does this take them out of other top arms? Top arms, yes. Top players, no. I don't think they're going after a Burns and a Fried, but I still very much see them being ultra competitive, if not still the odds-on favorite to re-sign Teoscar Hernandez. The Tommy Edman extension might have to wait a year for Chris Taylor's money to come off the books, and then they can get that one squared away. And Roki Sasaki is dirt cheap. You can get him for the cost of basically nothing, so they'll still be in on him. The one thing that you said that I really, really liked was they got this done early. Not only is that big for specifically Snell, we know he's somebody that he's a routine guy. He needs to establish himself, settle himself in, and then he performs very well. It's why he's usually a second half performer as opposed to a first half. But it's big for the club. It's big for the organization, because now this is something they can go into the winter meetings and just kind of shrug their shoulders at everybody else going, we got the one thing we absolutely needed to have. Everything else from here is just, they can be patient. They can let the market fall to them, which is what they want to do anyway. That's what Andrew Friedman preaches. That's what he always, that's how you get guys like Freddie Freeman on contracts like that, like they did. So, and Teoscar Hernandez last year, same deal. Yeah. So they have that opportunity to really go fishing on their terms at this point, because they can't get bent over a barrel for a pitcher anymore. Yeah. They can kind of do whatever they want.
And we know how this team operates. We know how this front office operates. They won't chase the market. Snell, it was a perfect offseason for Snell. Again, we already said it earlier. We talked about it throughout parts of this offseason, throughout parts of the regular season, that the Dodgers and Snell were probably closer than we think come into terms to a deal last year. Thank God, it didn't work out the way it did or whatever. But this is the perfect offseason to add him. I think he's ready to win. He's ready to fall in line, we'll say, a little bit in the Dodgers way. I don't remember if it was me and you talking, if it was me and Tim, somebody, wherever the hell I was talking about it. It's probably with you. But the idea of adding Blake Snell, who again is already a strikeout artist, he's a two-time, the Dodgers added a two-time Cy Young Award winner to the starting rotation. That is pretty flippin' cool. But now to add him or to get him working with a friend of the show, friend of Dodgers territory, Mark Pryor, to get him working with this pitching lab on getting better, somehow getting even better. The Dodgers are going to do that, and that's going to be an insane thing to watch. Somebody who already has elite strikeout stuff. He does have the ability to pitch deep into games. People watching this on YouTube see the thumbnail. That's him throwing a complete game shutout, being a happy boy about it. This is the time. Mr. Wade saying Glasnow and Snell teammates again, forming a healthy 1-2 punch. Cool. Yeah, it is really cool, and it's cool to see the Dodgers doing this now. Somebody, but Gus L saying Austin Barnes is reunited with his son Blake Snell. That's going to be fun. I really hope the social media team does something with that. But John Morosi a few minutes ago pointing out, doing the math, Blake Snell signed 112 days earlier than he did an off season ago. That is insanity.
Crazy. Like, the fact that Boris let it get that long, also according to the live chat, we got 1,600 people, which I believe is the most we've ever had across any. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us as we break, or not, we don't break it, but we react to a little bit of breaking news. It's these were, I think they were both Friedman guys in Tampa, so it makes sense that they both have, a repertoire or, a relationship with Friedman Pryor. I think, like you said, he wants to win. He's always been a great clubhouse guy. Everybody speaks really highly of him. The Padres loved him. The year that I worked for you at DN, reported a lot on like the Blake Snell, all the turmoil in that clubhouse. None of it was about Snell. Like everybody just really loved that guy. Everybody wanted him back, and they were sad to see him leave. I'm sure they're even sadder to see him wearing Dodger blue.
Padres fans are going to be losing their shit right now.
It's a tough time to be a Padres fan, just because the Dodgers continue to, evil empire gets bigger and they're cutting payroll. So it's a little. But we're not talking about that. We're having a good time. We're feeling good here.
Chat is going off. IB Strokin says Clint Nation always live for the big time Dodgers news. Happy we're here again. I was literally laying in bed. When you get the news, when you start to see people rumbling, I just got our Discord technically was the first one to tip me off, because I just see a notification pops up that just says Snell, and then you get the screenshot. The fact that again Blake Snell broke the news before everybody else, posting himself with the eyes emoji, and I didn't have time to make graphics. We'll dive into this a little bit more as we get all of the details and all that kind of stuff. This is reactions. This is a celebration show with everybody. I was going to say, guys, hit that like button again. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. We're going to be here talking about this all off season long. Hopefully there's more, but there's a couple of really good questions in here. One was... I can't find the one I wanted to read, so I'll read Mr. Classics, which is just as good as everybody else. Appreciate everybody. We're trying to get to comments as we're going along. Mr. Classics says Juan Soto next now. Listen, you guys have been watching us all off season. I've been, I wouldn't say I've been like extremely out on Juan Soto. There's a number of reasons to be out on Juan Soto, but however, this week when we heard, or last week on Friday when Kevin and I were last live together, we heard that there is the chance that there could be a shorter term deal, or more so there could be opt-outs after year 3, year 4. That was the whole thing we were talking about, Kevin. That does it opens that door a little bit to a Juan Soto world. And you were talking about John Davis asking about Roki Sasaki. No, Roki, like Kevin already said, he's going to be very cheap. Roki Sasaki is going to be in play. Now, maybe Juan Soto is in play. Yes, the payroll is going to be insane, but there are players coming off the payroll after next season, and then after the season after that. I mean, it starts to get a little bit cheaper for the Dodgers, so you can, pay a bunch, pay the overage charges in 2025 to give yourself the best possible roster to run it back, because we've seen nobody's won back-to-back World Series since the Yankees in 1999 and in 2000. So you need to, we want to see them bring everybody back from the 2024 team, but I would argue get better, because that team had some problems, that had some holes.
Absolutely. We keep climbing. We got over 1,800 people here. As that number goes up, just keep shouting out, because it's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Appreciate everybody hanging out on Twitter, X. If you want to jump into the comments so we can see them, it's on the YouTube. That's the only way it lets you comment, unless you're paying for Twitter or something like that. A couple of super chats, by the way. $1.99 from Grayson says, deal came out of left field. Don't love it, don't hate it. I love it a lot more than I hate it. It definitely came out of left field. My God, did this deal come out of left field?
How Friedman works. Nothing. Deal's done.
And $5 from Siege Roots saying they said, Blake, this is the best offer we got, and he immediately posted to Instagram. Again, I love that,
deal.
Man. It's a great deal. He's getting a raise. He's not pitching for the Giants. It's a win-win-win.
Pitching for the Giants. He's immediately on a contending team. We know he talks about wanting to win all the time. That's what he cares about. Something that, if people want to dig into stats a little bit, because he had a kind of an up and down last year. The one thing that I want to look at, and I did look at, was his last half of the season, which is actually a larger sample size. So he only pitched in 8 games prior to the All-Star break, and then he pitched in 12 games afterwards. In those 12 games, he had a 1.45 ERA and 68 innings pitched. Guess how many strikeouts he had?
Lots.
103 in 68 innings.
Wow.
That's so hard to fathom, especially for the Dodgers, who, okay, first of all, just saw the 2,000 number, which is sick. That's awesome. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. We'll be here for 60 people, be here for 2,000. Number go up, Kevin get happier. Especially for a team that struggles to get strikeouts, even with really guys with really gross stuff. Brusdar Graterol, Dustin May. Clayton Kershaw is not the strikeout guy he used to be. Walker Buehler was very much not a strikeout guy this year until he was. And then same with Jack. And then you just flip the script on that and oh yeah, here is the strikeout guy. That's just it's gonna be so much fun to watch and see what Pryor and the pitching lab can do for him. I have a feeling a lot of it's just gonna be arm maintenance, hey, how do we keep your arm healthy and feeling good throughout the year? Because the stuff is nasty. I don't think he really needs to change much, maybe sequencing here or there, but it's just, I think it'll be about keeping his arm healthy. Zip code $2. Does this mean no Fried, no Teoscar, no Adames? I definitely say no to Fried. Probably no to Adames. Yes to Teo, because that's a glaring need. They need an outfielder. Dry Protoss, $5. Postseason rotation of Ohtani, Glasnow, Yama, Snell is disgusting. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Assuming they're all healthy. We thought we had a disgusting rotation last year, and then it just fell apart at the
Then
seams,
it falls apart. That's the problem. And, it's funny. Alana Rizzo and I were talking about this on Dodgers territory on Monday, and I hate repeating myself a lot, but you have to do that in the offseason, especially when I'm doing 4 shows a week between this show and Dodgers territory. You're going to repeat yourself a lot, but I try to make it different. I try to make it interesting, or just a little bit, hopefully interesting for people. You guys, again, hanging out with us here, celebrating. The thing I've been harping on over and over again and again, you needed to add that starting pitcher. You need to add one more grown-up at the top of the rotation and to add somebody with the punch. And this is where I'm happy, and I was always in on Blake Snell. And Kevin, you know this. We were talking about this minutes after the World Series, a stream or two after the World Series. We were talking about, let's already spin this forward. What the hell does this team need next? They fucking need Blake Snell. They needed somebody like that. You add a lefty. I wanted a lefty, and I loved him over Max Fried. And for all of the stuff, we hear about Fried being that guy who posts. It's not like Blake Snell doesn't go out there and post. Only threw 104 innings last year with the Giants, but he started his season late because he signed so late, and then he got hurt because he tried to force himself to ramp up for something closer to opening day.
And it was a hamstring injury, or it was a leg injury. It was not his arm, by the way.
For the most part, he posts like the innings are on the lower side, but that's the game. That's the game now. If he's able to go out there, give you 5 or 6. Every 5th, every 6th day now, throw 28 to 30 starts, probably not even 30 starts. With if it is going to be a true 6-man rotation, stay healthy, be ready. Listen, you're going to make it to the postseason. I don't care what you do over 162. Be ready, be froggy, show that elite shit in October, and we've seen him do it against the Dodgers up until arguably the worst move in World Series history when Kevin Cash took him out and after Austin Barnes broke him. I want to get back into the chat though. There's a lot of great points and
good super chats here.
All right, I'm going to throw it out, and let's read some super chats, but I'm going to throw it out. They could be in the super chats because, again, there's a lot of people in here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. People asking, does this close the door on Jack Flaherty? Yes, 100%. Yes. Does it close the door? Somebody was saying, Dan Smith, this was earlier in the chat, says, I hate this contract. Give me Walker 10 times over. This does not preclude the Dodgers from re-signing Walker Buehler, even slightly. They need a lot of help. They need a lot of, I have this that we used on yesterday's stream, myself and Tim Rogers. We can change one of the names there, but all of the arms that were in the 40-man roster, that are in the organization right now, you see all of the injuries, you see all of the concerns, and knowing there's not going to be a Gavin Stone available next year because of injury, knowing that now, like, Bobby Miller can 100% become a trade asset if you really need to. Landon Knack could be a trade asset, but Kyle Hurt's out. Emmett Sheehan will be back. River Ryan's going to be back. You don't know what Nick Frasso is going to be like coming back from shoulder surgery, labrum surgery. Ben Kasparius can go one way or the other. Wrobleski probably should be in the bullpen, but you add that one more piece, and it brings all the cream rises to the top, and it brings all of the importance of somebody like a Landon Knack now, or us talking last week about going into opening day with the reality was that as of last Friday, Tony Gonsolin was our number 3 starter.
Yeah.
Now you can exhale a little bit, Dodgers fans. You can exhale a little bit knowing Blake Snell, he's a Los Angeles Dodger, and that is pretty cool. But fire off some of them super chats.
Sean Allen 199 gonna sign Tom Brady because he wants another ring. Tom Brady's too busy trying to fix my Raiders, damn it. Richard Flores 499 over 1,800 on the board for Clint Nation. Badass. Now let's get Teoscar back. Hit the like button. F Soto. Keep filling holes to run it back. Let's go. I'm all about filling holes. 2,300 people across social media. This is awesome. Appreciate everybody in here. 499 from Grayson. Seems like a diva / big personality guy. Who's to say he won't listen to coaches and veteran guys like Kurt? I pushed back on that heavily when I was covering the Padres for Dodgers Nation. Everybody loved it. Wasn't really. Yeah, wasn't a big diva. Wasn't a big. He has a big personality, but people liked it. He seemed to be a good clubhouse guy. I lost it. 1 second. Christopher Navarro, $10. Nostradamus, Teo, Trinan, Bueller, Kike for Soto. All day, as long as it's Teo or Soto, it's got to be one of the two. And then last one, zip code $5. Glass, Yama, Snell, Otani, Bueller, Kirsch. Let the young arms build. I would love to see Sasaki in there, but that's all. Well, I'm loving that. One thing that I'll say about Blake Snell's inning limit, or not limit, but low inning count. Part of that is his walks. He gets into really high counts a lot. And if the Dodgers can find a way, maybe it's just, hey, pitch to a little bit more contact, cut the strikeouts down a little bit, but we'll get, then you can get deeper into games because he can get up to 80 pitches in 4 innings. Like, he's that kind of pitcher. Yeah. It'll be zeros. It'll be 4 great innings, but it comes at a price. So that would be the one thing, if they can cut down on his walks or, help him be a little bit more efficient. All of a sudden he's hitting that 160 to 180, sweet spot. I think the Dodgers kind of like their pitchers to be at. Yeah. I mean, 160 is probably a reasonable midpoint, or even a floor. 150 could be in the mix as well. But
of all of the guys they have, and I'll, you know what, F it, I'll go back to this graphic here as I push the wrong button and put that on there. Shout out to Jeff Spiegel. They're also live right now at Dodger Blue, but stay here. You guys will have a better time.
We curse more than we do.
This is true. Fuck yeah, we do. But there's so many of the injury concerns again, and this is one guy who, for the greater part, yeah, he's had some, you know, little injuries here and there, but he's not like a max effort kind of dude, even though he can run the ball up there. Like, he's somebody who's going to knock on desk here. He's somebody that's going to stay healthy, and he's going to be available for this team. So if you lose one of those top dudes, and again, Shohei Ohtani not anticipated to be available, you know, as a starting pitcher for opening day at least, which I'm fine with. I don't care, because you know, opening day roster isn't the same one you're going to take into the postseason. So who cares? It's fine. Everybody's happy. But to have this dude who is posted in his career, yeah, there's a little bit up and down in Blake Snell's career. But when he's right, like, again, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, this dude is elite. And to add that in there and not injuries that knock him out for the entirety of the season, you know, that's like more freak things or leg things. It's not really been shoulder. It's not really been arm, you know, anything like that. I got to obviously do more research on him, because I haven't looked at all of his injury history, but he's not somebody who's, you know, had to undergo the knife for, you know, Tommy John or a shoulder thing or whatever. So this is where I really wanted this guy. That's another thing I don't know that I talked a lot about or enough about, but a big reason I wanted this guy is because of, yeah, he's an adult, he's a lefty, but he's also relatively healthy throughout his career.
Yeah, absolutely. He did have, so the reason he was on those innings limits early in his career is because I believe when he was drafted, he had an elbow issue and a shoulder issue. So they kept him on those really, like, that's where the Rays just kind of said, no, you're only pitching 5 innings tops. It was to kind of save his arm.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's really just been lower body stuff. He's had some adductor stuff, like a groin injury. I guess it wasn't. I thought it was a hamstring. It was a groin injury the middle of last year. But there hasn't been a lot of arm stuff since 2019. So knock on wood, knock on desk, whatever, that keeps up. Kevin Yuhas, $10. So where do we put Snell as a starter? Is he opening day over Yamamoto and Glass now? I believe if you're talking about the Japan series, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to start that almost assuredly. I think they'd be dumb not to. And then domestic, it'll probably be Glass now. If I had to guess, I still think they want him to kind of be like the ace of the staff.
Yeah.
Jonathan, $9.99. I'll be rooting for Snell, but the 36.4 AB seems too high. He was great last year, but it was an outlier. I expected xFIP around 350. I hope he continues to pitch like he did last year. I don't think last year was an outlier. I think last year was kind of like in line with his, like with him. He was slow out of the gate, had an incredible second half of the season. Yeah, I mean, technically a no-hitter is an outlier because it just doesn't happen very often. But I think that was right in line. I think if you want to talk about outliers, you look at like all the way back in 2018 where he had a 1.89. And one side, like I don't think we're gonna see a 1.89 Blake Snell. My that would be cool.
I'll take the bet.
The concern I always had is he was either like a low 2s guy or a mid 3s guy. If you can get him somewhere in the middle, give me like a 2.7, 2.8. Like that's gravy. That's 2.7, 2.8, low 3s even is fantastic for this kind of money, because again, it's not going to be about that 162. It's going to be about how do you do in the postseason? And this dude posts. He has done very well in the postseason. You know, had Kevin Cash left him in, the Dodgers might not have won the World Series.
That definitely was going to be more of a series against the Rays. Yeah. To the question, I mean, there's not a wrong answer. There's not a right answer where Snell slots in, and what we saw this postseason as well. This postseason that just concluded. There's not really a game 1, a game 2, game 3 guy. And if you have your rotation set up perfectly, beautifully, everybody is you have upwards of 4 aces now. We are going to see Shohei Ohtani knock on desk again. We're going to see him pitching in the postseason next year. And you add Snell to that, and you add Glass now. I mean, maybe Hiroki Sasaki down the road. We'll go live when that happens, gang.
Yeah,
and then of course Yamamoto. Yeah.
I have thoughts on that, but that hopefully they're good thoughts and hopefully they're soon.
Dwayne Antoine says LFG, and I'm assuming I said it right. If I didn't, I said it wrong. LFG Snellzilla. So glad this dude and this deal got done. Richard Flores, great point as always from our guy Richie, says I have no worries about Snell in the clubhouse, and this touches on what you've said a few times, Kevin. Like little Andy F knows him well and would never bring this perceived clubhouse cancer on to the Dodgers. And I believe that very firmly. Like you said, you've never really heard teammates say anything about it. There's this perception, oh yeah, he's kind of been this kid who was playing video games and misunderstood. So, the media is going to paint him as some sort of villain because he wasn't your traditional, old school pitcher or whatever, and he only go the five and dive or whatever. It's like he never wanted to be a five and dive in Tampa. That was their thing. And to be fair, his numbers say he's much worse third time through the rotation or third time through the lineup. But it doesn't matter. You do that, you add some other pieces in the back end of that bullpen, you're going to be in a really, really good spot. A real C note saying, oh no, such an overpay. Where's my fainting couch? Seriously, what's up with some of you people? It's not your money. I was literally going to say, I thought he was being serious about it. I was going to say, it's not our money. It's not our money. I'm here to watch my Dodgers. And yeah, parking's going to be $100 during the World Series next year. It's going to cost you $15 just to stand in line to buy beer. But that's the cost of doing business as a fan. There's your Dodgers tariffs right there, gang. If you want talent and you want to, I know, bad day, but and if you want talent, you want to keep trying to run it back. This is what you need. You need to move. You need to make moves and not just bring back the boys that did it last year. You got to get better. They've
made that mistake.
This gets better.
They've made that mistake.
Great point.
They've done that. They ran it back in 2018, and I know, they had a great season. They went in the World Series.
So think of how slow they got out of the gate in 21 after winning in 20 as well, and they talked about it. There was like kind of a little bit of a hangover from that shortened 20 season. So again, we're in a really good spot.
Yeah, everybody was talking about we held on to Cody for too long because they just wanted to run it back. This organization has shown that they're not running it back for the sake of running it back. They're gonna get better because at this point they're so far above the luxury tax. You kind of reach that point of like, well, we're here. We might as well just go all, because it's the next ownership group's problem, right? But that's when you've reached, because this is it was 180. This is a $370 million contract in theory because they have to pay like 110% on the dollar for every for this entire contract. So it's fun. Just enjoy it. It's not our money. Who cares? Like you said, those micheladas might get real expensive next year, but hey, if it means that we win another ring, I'm all here for it. Buehler's not guaranteed to come back from Nicholas Balsama, but if it's only the Athletics and Yankees talking to him, we've got a shot. I imagine a lot more teams than those two organizations will be talking to Walker Buehler. He'll be sought after, not just for his postseason, but he could be pitchers trying to reestablish their market and ending on the high note he did. That's a good sign if I'm a general manager to say I can invest in this guy because he ended on a high note, and we can maybe get him for slightly below at this point the ridiculous pitching market, because between Snell and Kikuchi, sorry to everybody else that wants to sign pitchers. Holy crap. Los Angeles is killing it. Already started it. Okay, already started it.
Yeah, the free agent market is it's lit right now. It's lit for pitchers. I don't know if we said this earlier. Jack Harris, 17 minutes ago, the deferral's $52 million. It's a $52 million signing bonus with deferred money per a source. We don't know of course, what the deferred money is. I'm sure we're going to figure it out soon enough. And one of the things I love, you got this kind of deal with a Boris client, which
I know it's like the first one, right?
It's been a hot frickin' minute as I be stroking, talking to someone in the chat about the Dodgers printing money. The last two off seasons, goddamn, does it feel that way for sure. But these players, they're buying into the idea, some people will say we're going to have the detractors tomorrow when the East Coast wakes up. My God, Yankees fans are going to be miserable. Red Sox fans are going to be miserable. People on the internet are going to be generally miserable. One person not miserable, Christopher Navarro with a $5 super chat says, hopefully LA passed on Soto and signed a haul of studs to round out our team. Great show, Nostradamus. Appreciate you, Chris Navarro and Sean Allen. $1.99. If you want another ring, you got to build the team. And that's what we're talking about. That's what this thing is. But
Absolutely.
you got to just keep getting better. It's not our money, and the Dodgers are in an era right now where, in a way, having Yamamoto, having Ohtani, they kind of are just manufacturing money with all of the ads we're bringing in. Stan Kasten was on Foul Territory like a few weeks ago, and one of the guys asked him tongue in cheek, he knew he wasn't going to get an answer, but it's like, how much money are you getting, having Ohtani on the team in endorsements? And Kasten was not going to reveal that number. Let's just say, but what he did say was, let's just say he paid for himself and then some. They are making a lot of money.
I can't remember. I think Scott Braun had read a report on Foul Territory where, in revenue, Ohtani was in the 9 figures. It was 160 something million off the first year of Ohtani. That contract is going to pay for itself. And that deferred money is why the Dodgers can do this, because they're really only paying, I know what it says, on the AAV, but they're only paying him $2 million liquid. So whatever Snell's get, kicking the can down the road, we might pay the price. There might be some lean years, but that's a decade from now at this point. Right now, just, they're just diving into Scrooge McDuck vaults, and you got to love every minute. Siege Roots $5. So by my count, 68 and 36 means they'll still have 32 of Shohei's money to go sign a dude. Or 68 minus 36.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
They got right. Money. They got money. Yep. Teo, we saw the report. We talked about it a little bit last night. We saw the report where they're trying to push Teoscar to kind of advance his market, advance his postseason or his offseason, his free agency, bring him back home. You need to see Blake Trinan back. I still would love to see Walker Buehler. At some point Clayton Kershaw is going to re-sign. I love what my friend who runs one of the guys who runs the Dodgers territory account, Mr. Michael Byer, great dude who does social media for Foul and that whole network, saying Dodgers. The tweet was, Dodgers currently have 4 number 1 starters under contract, and the funny thing is that rotation is going to be intact for, at the bare minimum, the next 4 years. Through Glasnow's contract. Think back literally 10 years ago. The Dodgers had Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke. Now double it. That's where we're at right now. We have nothing but aces. Oh, and by the way, Clayton Kershaw is your number 6, maybe even a number 7 starter. Maybe he doesn't crack the rotation. It's a great time to be a Dodger fan, ladies and gentlemen, as we have between Twitter and between YouTube, almost 2,300 people hanging out watching us tonight. Appreciate that. Sean Allen, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Sean again says, can't wait for Snell to strike out Machado and Tatis. That just feels that's like Richie Flores voicemail writing itself right there. Almost.
It is. We're going to hear. It's going to be fantastic. I am so excited for that. We were talking about it, the last time on Friday. It's let's get the offseason going. Let's give me something to get excited about. And this is as exactly as exciting as you could get. I mean, it's going to be hard to now it's just all right, can we start playing again?
Yeah,
I know
let's bring
none
it
of the
back.
Players want to hear that. None of the players want to hear that, but that's kind of where we're at. Is Blake Snell is really exciting. This rotation is going to be really exciting for 4 years. Man, okay. If they can sign Roki Sasaki, not only do you get him for 4 years, but it's you have a young core again, which would be crazy because he's only 23 years old. So you have Yamamoto and Roki for at least 6 years, because that's what the ARB and everything. So you have a young core on top of 4 years minimum of actual aces. It's just, my head is just all the way up in the clouds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same spot because I've been kind of preaching the last week that nothing was going to happen. I did not see anything crazy happening before the winter meetings. However, when you have an off season as terrible as Blake Snell had last year. Like, he was so scorned by the market last year and what Scott Boras was trying to force his market to become. He was like, nah, let's make this happen. Let's make this I want to sign. The fact that he already has his uniform there, number 7 has been open for the Dodgers. He gets to wear that number 7.
Thank God.
It's going to look
somebody else.
somebody
Thank
else.
God, somebody else. Thank God. It's like my favorite number. And I was like, yeah, like Julio is so cool. And then like, everything in house was like, no, we need somebody else to wear that number, please.
A couple great comments here. DT Wong says, we're eating good right now. Goddamn, are we eating good? Bob Student 10 says, mind blown. Yeah, I think that's where we all were, because Kevin will attest to this. I'm trying to set up the stream here because there's a lot of little pieces, and I'm like, my fingers are typing faster. My brain is typing faster than my fingers. You're shaking. The excitement of like, the Dodgers just won the World Series. This is not quite the same level of excitement as winning a World Series, but goddamn, does it feel kind of close sometimes when you win the offseason? And this is, we suffered, in that 2023 offseason. That was a rough offseason to get back to this point where now the Dodgers are they're finally that team that everybody says they are. They're signing up everybody. They're printing money, and they hate us already. Who cares? Let fans hate, the Dodgers.
Yeah, just lean into it. Like I said, you're already spending a bunch of money. Just spend more. Who cares? It's not our money. Let's let them, let them perceive us as the empire. Man, if everybody wants to think of us as the Yankees, go be the Yankees. The old Yankees, not the current Yankees.
Yeah.
Like the old.
I mean, even those old Yankees, man, they absolutely won on that young core. And then they started trying to pay. When they started trying to buy talent, they stopped winning. They stopped winning World Series. They won on that core 4. But we don't care. We want them all. Give us your not your poor, but give us your hungry, your huddled masses, or your former Cy Young Award winners. As that's a lot of letters, but JBWRC 4.99 super chat. We're excited again. Saying Snell is going to shove in the postseason for us. Let Freeman and Gomes cook. This is only the beginning. They're going to build a dynasty for us, and it's dynasty offseason for sure. Denny Cortez, the more haters, the better. Means we're doing it right.
Yeah, it really feels that way. Again, like we've been talking about it. It's, when the Rangers won, right? Last year. That was like, okay, what did they do? Well, they kind of just stayed the same. The Dodgers, on the other same with the Braves. The Braves didn't necessarily get a lot better after 21. So the Brandon Gomes, Andrew Friedman are pushing their foot on the gas. They're saying, no, we won. Let's just get better because everyone else is going to get better. You can't stay the same if you want to continue to build success. And the reason that they can do this, though, is the farm system is so loaded, is because there are guys waiting in the wings, especially pitchers, that they can, count on when maybe we're at the tail end of this Blake Snell contract. And, he's not the guy that, we signed, because we're really signing him for like 2.5 to 3 years and hoping he could, that it pays out for that. But in that 4th and 5th year, there are guys waiting in the wings that will be contributors in this rotation that allow them, because they'll be so cheap, that'll allow the Dodgers to do it. So this is really exciting. Oh, okay. Jack Harris right now, 2 notable things about this. The deferral should lower Snell's salary hit against the Dodgers luxury tax payroll from the 36.4 to perhaps between 32 and 33. But by getting such a big signing bonus, the present value of the deal shouldn't be diminished. Okay. So it's just the big point there is 32 to 33 will be the luxury tax hit.
I don't care. The luxury tax is going to be high either way. We're good.
The days of like, where are we up against that? Like, the Steve Cohen tax. Oh, we're just so far past it. Like, who cares?
A couple of last things I want to throw out there, and then we'll take a few more comments, and we'll probably wrap this one up. Appreciate you guys hanging. I wasn't expecting us to go, 45 minutes to an hour on this, but it is a special day. Yeah, a lot of people appreciate you guys hanging out with us, even with some of the big dogs out there. You guys are hanging out with a whittle itty bitty 8,500 or almost 8,500 subscriber channel. Appreciate the hell out of you guys for being here. Do hit that like button if you're enjoying this. Do hit that thumbs up button if you're happy that Blake Snell is a Dodger. Hit it even if you're not happy he's a Dodger, and do subscribe to the channel. all of that. I lost the thought I was gonna have, but again, it's good. That's it. That's all I got. I had something. It was gonna be good, but here's
Cole,
where
a
we're
good
at.
question. So, which pitcher do they target and trade? This definitely doesn't preclude them from a Garrett Crochet trade at all. Still a possibility.
I mean, so this is where I'm at, and this is thank you, because that's where I was going. I was going with trade because
long enough. Let's go.
hey, synergy, bro. We were talking last night, myself, Tim Rogers, talking about, the long term, like the right now health check and the longer term health check of the Dodgers organization. And we know, Kevin, the pitching wise, they're in a really good spot. Because in 2025 you have some guys that are going to be around. Jackson Ferris could make his debut. Emmett Sheehan will make his return. Maybe Nick Frasso makes his major league debut coming back from shoulder surgery. But beyond that, again, you're going to have a Jackson Ferris. You're going to have the four guys we already know they're going to be in the rotation. Probably
River Ryan in 2026.
Yeah, River Ryan's back. Kyle Hurt, whatever his role is going to be. They have so much pitching that now you hit a point where you can start to really focus using that prospect talent, using that prospect capital to fill the other holes. Because right now, I'm sorry, the Dodgers don't have a shortstop, and they don't have a lot of guys that are ready for prime time, in my opinion. They don't have an outfield, and you really hope they re-sign Teoscar Hernandez. But we've also seen, today the reports kind of ramping up about the White Sox really, really looking to trade Luis Robert. If Robert is one of those guys, he is a true center fielder for the most part. And some people might argue against that metrics wise, but you have assets, you have talent available to move around, and again, your Dodgers extremely advantageous spot right now. This offseason, the rest of this offseason, into 2025 trade deadline, all of that moving forward, you're in such a great spot.
Yep, absolutely, and we talk about optionality because they talk about optionality. They can go about this pretty much however they want to go about it. If they want to rely on the young guys in the coming years, they can. If they want to offload them to supplement the roster now, they can absolutely do that as well. So there's a lot of ways they can go about this. Richie Flores, 199 Super Chat. We're up against the big dogs. We are the big dogs.
Let's go.
300 people. Can't say it enough. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that like button. Really helps us out. But yeah, they're not like the Dodgers aren't going anywhere. I think that's kind of what we're trying to say is you've got so many good prospects, quality prospects, especially on the pitching side coming up. Yeah, you do need a shortstop. I still think Mookie Betts can play shortstop. Give him the offseason. And that solves a lot of the problems. Also, just so you know, Gavin Lux and Blake Snell can play Call of Duty together now. So maybe they don't trade Gavin Lux. Camaraderie. See,
This guy.
There's more reason to keep Gavin Lux and Mookie Betts in the infield. But yeah, they still definitely, if we're looking towards the rest of this offseason, you still need an outfielder, still need a shortstop. Zip code $05. Now we need Bellinger in center field, Teoscar in left, and Edmund in shortstop. I think you either get Belly or Teo. I would seriously just much prefer Teoscar over Bellinger.
Give me if somehow they miss out on Teo and they miss out on Soto, give me Lou Bob over Cody Bellinger. My guy,
it's very low on the list.
Yeah, very low on the list. That's a pull, break in case of emergency. My guy Caleb Nguyen in the chat saying Magic Johnson might be the only man to add to his assist totals after the end of his NBA career, and I appreciate that. We give Caleb the clap on that one.
Man, oh god, that's so good. That's so good.
Cole asking Clint, Kevin, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? The tears of our enemies. Tears of them haters, because again, it's a great time, and oh man, I cannot wait to see that again. The West Coast, the East Coast, waking up tomorrow to really soak in this edition. Dodgers add Blake Snell on a massive 5-year, $182 million deal. They steal him away from other teams that were reportedly in Red Sox very, very high. Now you hope the Red Sox aren't going to be mad and push their chips on the table towards Teoscar out of spite. I think Teo wants to be back. We know Teo wants to be back, and he sees people. It's different to be a Dodger, man.
There's no Teoscar sees this. he sees this too, and he goes, "Wait, just get me. I want to be back on this team. You kidding me? We might have better pitching next year." Yeah, he wants to be back. My hope, honestly, is the Red Sox see this and go, we need Soto. Just give us Soto. And because, in my opinion, that's the funniest timeline is where Soto goes to the Red Sox and just scorns all of New York. That would just be absolutely hilarious. And then Teoscar lovingly comes back to Los Angeles where he belongs.
One final thing, and then we will check out for the night. Mark Feinsand just tweeted 30 seconds ago, Snell's deal also includes a limited no-trade clause per a source. I don't think he's being traded anywhere, but if so, it's limited where he can go. But again, we would reset the stage there.
Oh, it's limited to teams. I thought it was limited as limited in he couldn't be traded the first couple of years or something like that.
Yeah, no. It's about he gets there's probably a list of 10 or 15. That's usually how the limited deals, limited no trades.
The Padres are probably nowhere on that list. If I had to guess, I don't think Friedman would let that happen.
Yeah, I don't see them making any trades with the Padres for a while. But again, Dodgers building for the future, building for 2025 and beyond. You got some talent down the road, but you have the best 1 through 4 when it comes to a starting rotation. And you know what? Hey, let's mess around. When they re-add Clayton Kershaw, you're adding a 3-time Cy Young Award winner and former MVP into that rotation mix. Tony Gonsolin was a 2022 All-Star. There is a lot of talent. There's all of a sudden a lot of pitching talent. And I think what happened is after that 2023 embarrassment and Andrew Friedman, Brandon Gomes had to address the media. And I've talked about this a few times. I was in that room. I wasn't in the room that time, but they had to address the media. And one of the questions was how do you get better? How do you stop this from happening? How do you get, what are postseason players or whatever? They found the formula. The numbers don't lie. Ball don't lie. This is a dude, Blake Snell, 3.33 career postseason ERA. Kike Hernandez, another name we're not saying enough, definitely needs to be back. Walker Buehler has that dog in him, by the way. He's also a 2-time All-Star and a Cy Young Award runner-up in 2021 when he's been at his best. Hopefully he still comes back, but there's so much talent, and that's how you get better. You keep adding to that talent pool, and that's what they've done. That's what this Dodgers front office has done. They made this team, once again, the best team in baseball. They were already favorites to go and run it back. Now they're super favorites.
Yeah, off-season odds don't mean anything. Winning the off-season doesn't mean anything. You can hang a banner for it, sure, but it feels great. I'll be honest, it feels pretty nice to just kind of be hanging out at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, just why not and go to bed? Oh wait, we just signed the number 1 guy that we could have wanted, not named Roki Sasaki. Mike Lopez with $5. The Dodgers have Edgardo Enriquez, 22-year-old who goes 103. Ronaldo Yin, 20-year-old who goes 105. The signing of Snell, you bet Vassay is dancing.
Oh yeah,
he's just not going anywhere near slides.
He did it.
It's wonderful.
Guys, unsubscribe after. No, guys, please. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate Kevin coming on unexpected. This is a fun time. Again, it's gonna be a fun off season to be Dodgers fans. So keep it locked in here. Subscribe. We'll be here all off season long. We'll be trying to hit breaking news whenever it does come through. But this is a show for you. You find people out there. We want you to be involved in these shows. We read your comments, we give our thoughts. Not a whole lot of other people out there always doing that. We know our boys Dodger Blue do that. Whatever. I don't want to start hawking everybody else's show, but to give one more, I know my friend Jeff Snyder will be live, Locked on Dodgers coming up, and he'll have some thoughts. Guys, make him talk about Juan Soto. He loves talking about Juan Soto. But that is about it on today's show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing if you did subscribe. If you're looking for a different way to support this show, we do have Patreon set up. We do have YouTube members set up. $5 a month on those platforms, and you could one, support independent baseball coverage, independent Dodgers coverage. Yes, we get support by you guys watching, but there's nobody else backing this. This is the one channel that has nobody backing, nobody to answer to. We only answer to you guys. That's literally the facts right there. So
we're the Green Bay Packers of Dodgers channels.
Hey, I mean, I like the Packers, go Birds, but still, if you're looking to support the show, and you also get access to our Discord server by joining our Patreon or our YouTube members. Again, it's $5 a month. Join us through the off season. Maybe you'll have some fun. If not, cancel it. I understand it's the holidays. People don't have all this money laying around. $5 is a lot. If you can't do that, subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support the channel. But thank you again watching. Thank you for listening. That is at Skinner7 Kevin. Give him a follow on Twitter. That would be a nice Thanksgiving gift to my dude. I'm Real FRG. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. And, we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.